Welcome to Journaling with Judith, the podcast where gratitude transforms lives. I'm Judith, a wife, mom, John Maxwell leadership coach, and a daughter of the King. What if gratitude could shift your perspective on life? What if everything God has for you is in your gratitude posture? Together, we will explore how choosing gratitude can draw you closer into the will of God and manifest your divine birthright. Grab your journal, open your heart, and let's get started. Hey everyone, welcome back. Welcome back to Journaling with your girl Judith. Today we will be talking about gratitude as a heart posture. Who is ready to dive right in? So previously we explored what gratitude is, a choice to focus on the blessings we have instead of what we lack. Today, we are taking that a step further to understand how gratitude isn't just about what we do. It's about who we are. It's a posture of the heart, one that aligns us with God and deepens our trust in Him. This is deeply personal to me because when I first started practicing gratitude, it was about listing blessings, which was a good start, right? But over time, God showed me that gratitude is about more than the words we say or the actions. It's about humbling and aligning my heart with His. It's about saying, Lord, I don't have all the answers, but I trust you. And the truth is, I didn't have all the answers. When I look back on the journey we've been through with my son, Raheem, and his illness as a mother, and I know every parent can resonate with this. I wanted to fix everything, to keep his spirits up, to speak life into him, to take away all the needles, the prodding, the tests, and solve the problem in front of us. But there were so many challenges that was coming, so much I could not control. And it wasn't just the illness. We were also faced with a heavy financial burden that came along with it. Let me share one of the miracles God worked during this time. When I tell you, this is making me also emotional, just reflecting on this part of our lives. We were paying a very expensive insurance policy, literally every 2 weeks, only to find out that our insurance company wouldn't cover the procedures or tests my son needed. I was in shock. When we reached out to them, they refused because the surgery was gonna cost too much. The multiple tests that he had to do, I was frustrated. Can I tell you how angry, how mad I was at this insurance company? We didn't miss a beat in paying the fee every 2 weeks. And then when we needed them the most, they turned their backs on us. My God, I spoke to the surgeon, I spoke to the doctors, and they encouraged us to try to apply for the insurance through the hospital. But this meant making a hard decision. So I canceled our insurance policy. And truthfully, guys, I made that decision out of anger. I acted on emotion. And looking back, I realized it's never a good thing to let your emotion drive your decisions. Still, God was merciful. We applied for the hospital insurance, and I can't begin to explain the red tapes we had to go through. I had to write letters of hardship. I had to fill out forms and waiting endlessly for them to get back to us with the to start all that procedure. In that time, I was so broken. Thank God for friends. Thank God for family, because my sister had to help me fill out these forms, write these hardship letter. I'm like, I don't even know how to begin to write this letter, but she formulated that letter so beautifully and perfect that I guess when they received the letter, God worked His miracle. God worked through her, using her to articulate that letter, because in my brokenness, in that place of vulnerability, I would not be able to really put those words in that letter to help my son. But God strategically set you up and set individuals up in our lives so that we can rely on others through his goodness, his grace and mercy. God showed up. Would you believe that the hospital insurance not only approved full coverage for my son's medical needs moving forward, but it also backtracked the coverage for all outstanding bills if we had any, all the way back to 2012. Guys, I was wondering why 2012, but then I realized that was the year of my son's birth, 2012. I was like, God, you don't play. When I received the phone call from the administrator telling me that it was approved, she herself was shocked. She said, Miss Griffiths, I don't know what to say. I've been working here how many years, and I have never, ever seen an application came through so quickly. Plus, they backtracked all the way. She said she has never seen it. And I turned to her and I said, this is how my God works. Oh my God, I'm getting so emotional here, guys. I said to her, this is how God works. I need a minute. My God, this was one of the first miracles that you worked out on our journey when Raheem was ill. Guys, I am so, I know I was going to be a bit emotional doing this because it's going to bring up so many other things that we've been through. And I'm telling you, it taught me to humble my heart before God because I didn't have all the answers and I never will. Up to today, I don't have all the answers for everything in my life. I don't have all the answers. If someone comes to me right now and they're going through, I can do my best because I know only God has the answer and he will use me as his mouthpiece. But I learned to trust his plan for our lives, for my family. Even in the waiting, even in the struggle, he was showing me his goodness, his grace. My God, the scripture says, enter his gates with thanksgiving and his courts with praise. Give thanks to him. Bless his name. This is in Psalms 100. The Bible teaches us that gratitude is foundational to entering God's presence. And I had to enter his presence humble before him for God to start working his miracles. I got so many prophecies and people speaking into my life that I had to trust God. I had to believe in God. I remember I was on one of my morning worship program with Lady Patasha. Oh my God, that group saved me every morning. And I can tell you this, I had a prophecy that from a young lady and she spoke into my life that God is going to blow my mind. And I tell you, when I received that phone call that the insurance was approved and it was backtracked and Raheem is fully covered, I paid nothing out of pocket. When I tell you I paid nothing out of pocket, I mean, I paid nothing out of pocket. When I tell you God came through, he came through. Thanksgiving is key. My heart is so overwhelmed right now. As I said, gratitude is aligning our hearts with God. It opens a door for peace and it reminds us that he is sovereign even in our hardest moments. And I hope this helps someone today. When we choose gratitude, we're not pretending life is easy. It's far from it. We're choosing to trust that God is good, even in the middle of our challenges, our frustrations, our struggles. Psychologically, gratitude is a powerful tool for calming our minds and hearts. Research shows that gratitude helps us to focus on what we have rather than what we lack, as I said in the previous podcast, which reduces stress and it creates feelings of control and calmness. So gratitude rewires our brains to see the goodness in life, the goodness that God has to offer us, which helps us to respond to challenges and to be resilient and have hope. Having a heart of gratitude is an intentional act of humility. It's a choice to say, Lord, I may not have the answers, but I trust you. When we let go of the need to control every outcome and acknowledge acknowledge God's sovereignty, acknowledge His presence and His provision, gratitude becomes more than a habit. It now becomes a heart posture that brings peace and strength. My God, I want us to take a moment right now, pause to reflect on how good God is and how God has provided for you. It might not look like a complete answer or solution, but maybe it's the strength to take another step. Maybe it's the courage to wake up another day boldly, to support yourself or a friend or a family member, or even a moment of clarity in a storm. Gratitude helps us to see these blessings as evidence of God's faithfulness. So I want you today to write down one specific way God has provided for you this week, the last month. How did this provision remind you of His faithfulness? Write a short prayer thanking God for His presence in your life, even in the waiting and the struggles. Set aside 5 quiet minutes today to focus on God's faithfulness. You can do this during your morning coffee, during a run, a walk, or in the evening just before bed. Think about one way He has shown up in your life recently. Then speak these words out loud. Lord, I thank you for your provision. I thank you for whatever blessing He has given you. Put that right there. You are faithful, and I trust you to continue providing for me. I enter your gates with thanksgiving today. I hope my testimony reminds you that God is with you. Even when you feel lost or confused, He doesn't expect you to have all the answers. That is His job. He is our Father after all. What He asks is that you trust Him and humbly align your heart with His will. When we choose gratitude, we open our eyes to the ways He is already working, even in the waiting and the struggle. Today, let gratitude be the way you step into His presence and experience His peace. So here's my challenge for you today. Write in your journal about one way God has provided for you this week. Reflect on how that provision shows His faithfulness. Spend 5 quiet minutes thanking God for that blessing and realigning your heart with His will. If you would like a tool to guide you on this journey, my gratitude journal is available for you. This was born out of my own experience and His design to help you cultivate gratitude daily. You can grab your copy on Amazon and begin to experience God's peace and provision in new ways. See you on the next episode as we explore why gratitude matters. Extremely grateful for each and every one of you. Before you go, thank you for tuning in to Journaling with Judith today. If this episode blessed you, please follow and subscribe. Also, share with a friend. Don't forget to join the Facebook group for daily prompts, extra guidance, and an amazing community of gratitude seekers. And remember to grab your copy of Journaling with Judith, available on Amazon, to make the most of this journey. You'll find the link in the show notes. Until next time, stay grateful, stay faithful, and keep journaling. God bless you, and I love you with the love of God.